Ooh, Hi everyone, welcome to Pick a Card. This video is going to be about the question, what is next in my growth? And these are the cards. Group number 1, we have Fur, Feather Friends. See the card closer. Group number 2, Harmonic Flight. Group number 3, Crystal Keys. See you in your groups. Hi, group 1, you chose Fur and Feather Friends. And these are your cards. Feeling that you've always been very perceptive, and as far as for what is next in your growth is to go back to being a little kid. Yeah, that is what is next for you to grow. You need to be taught by your inner teacher, by your inner child energy, because it's so perceptive. And that might mean for some of you to communicate literally with animals and the fey kingdoms, and the first specifically I'm hearing here, I feel very energy vibes of fairies, and be able to see and call on your spirit animals so that you can break those cycles that always avoided you of growing, that made you carry all this shame, being who you really are, and your gifts that go around in cycles like this snail's shell, and to really just go out there and explore and receive messages from all the elementals, water, earth, fire, air. Specifically, I'm hearing that you should pay attention to any kind of birds, because that's like the kind of creature you get messages from the most. And maybe you might have just sang with the birds, just looked at them inexplicably when they were flying by, not knowing that they were coming, because your intuition calls a lot of air elementals, I feel. And also to call upon your strength to adapt, because you might have been trained by a fear of adaptation, which is the hummingbird symbolism, and now you kind of close yourself to adapt to any new environments, such as a shocking new energy around you or by others directed to you. Now that you are expressing that you can actually communicate with elementals, being called crazy or any sort of those kinds of environments are always going to be out there. Maybe not necessarily physically with you. For some of you, yes, physically with you, sadly by close ones, by loved ones, but for others, maybe just across the media, and just feel free to express that, because you need to let that fear of being judged and shame die as a snake cycle, birth and death. Yeah, let it die so that it can be a rebirth of communicating with your family, because this is your family too, and it's been across lifetimes. I recommend a meditation for you guys. You can look it up in YouTube or anywhere if you have any friends or practitioners that you go to of shamanic journey meditations. Just look it up and you'll know what I'm talking about. It has to do with a lot of going through your roots, which now is our next card's topic, actually, the root chakra. This is obviously very connected, for you to be able to connect and tap into these higher realms, third eye and crown chakra areas. You also need to go all the way down. Remember your feet on the earth. You need to remember to ground your roots. That's what it's all about. This animal spirits and all of this only connect in nature, so it might be easier for you to go out in your backyard or just go to the park or the beach, for a hike. If you have a forest close to you, like, make the trip, and just reconnect. Give yourself that time to root, because it's really important for you to ground, to be able to connect with these spirits, and also for you to feel safe, because you might always not be feeling safe when you're about to communicate with these energies. You might even feel like you're in danger because of past life trauma, where you were actually very involved in the unknown, I'm feeling, and you kind of open portals for other deities to or entities to come in and just mess with you, but they were always there too, as above so below. So don't close yourself because of fears. Just please transmute, remember, snake, death and rebirth, so that you can go home. Look how she's expanding her arms for a big hug. Come home, they're saying. Home is where you let yourself be fully perceptive and, remember your childlike wonder. See everything through the lens of your child self with curiosity, because that is gonna transmute all that fear and doubt and anxiety. And rooting and grounding, that is the key. Yes, that is the key to that. This is the root chakra light code, and you can even draw it and place it on your feet or at the base of your spine. You can even draw it on your feet to just an invitation, and breathing deeply, imagining the red color wash over you. If you're very visual like me, the infinite is your next card, and yes, this has to do with past life karma. See the cycles here with the DNA and stuff. It has to do with the cycle that's been going and going and going and going, and you need to untangle, this cycle. Untangle it like the snake. She's untangled now, and because the snake let everything die and just left it behind. She shed her skin, and she was able to be on a rebirth where she doesn't have to be scared of others or fight others in flight mode, fight or flight mode with her family, even though it might be scary at first because it's so unknown to her to be able to be friends with the lion, to be able to be friends with the rooster, with the bunny, and actually be able to coexist. She's now letting herself coexist, and she doesn't have to prey or be the prey. And that is the message that I'm getting here for you with the infinite. So your next step in growth is to actually let go of those thoughts in your head. Close your eyes and ground. Close your eyes more often, even though it might be scary, even though you don't know what's around you, or close your eyes in a safe place if you need to, even though it might not be in nature, Start there, and then you can go ground in nature and actually be open to that. And if you've had accidents in this lifetime in nature, maybe like a hike, fall down, through the mountain, through a cliff or whatever, I'm hearing that is okay. That you're gonna lose that fear soon, transmute that fear soon, because this might be in this lifetime that you've been having this fear of just reconnecting. And yes, that is all I have for you, group 1. Hi, group 2. You chose harmonic flight, and these are your cards. I'm feeling here that you've always had problem with splitting your personality, being someone out there and being someone else inside. of yourself or in your shelter, and when you're home alone, or just when you're alone in general. And it's time to bring that fire out there too, and not be so cold maybe, and hide all your gifts, your expression, and your passion, just because of fear, of being judged. Yes, because in this journey to wholeness, whew, I'm sensing a lot of creativity 3-3, and like being just really contained in your body. You need to let all this creativity, all this ocean of expression and fun and play just flow all the way through your throat, through your upper chakras, because that's gonna connect you. That's gonna really connect you to your higher self perspective, and I'm also feeling that you were really, maybe, okay, for some of you guys, I feel like you went through a lot of trauma that made you shut up, literally made you quiet all of that expression. And now you're in your journey to being fully yourself and integrating your shadow in your light, because your shadow might be all this fire and passion, but also it might be masked, when you're out there around people, by shame or by guilt. For some of you, it's guilt. I'm seeing, because guilt is the block of the sacral chakra. Sacral chakra is the chakra of creativity, but also of literally, you're fun, you're joy, you're playing. And yes, you've contained it because you've had some resentment or sadness. Yes, I can see, just like the tears in this card, you've been holding your tears. So please let yourself cry so that it can flow. The element of the sacral chakra as well is water. So I can see all this water flowing, in your wholeness. Just let yourself cry. And I recommend for some of you hearing like a mirror meditation, where if you're comfortable with, not necessarily you need to, but if you're comfortable with being naked in front of a mirror and just staring at yourself and letting whatever emotions come through, be with them and release them, and maybe give yourself a little talk of what you want to forgive yourself for, and then what you admire, of yourself, as physically as well as spiritually, of the essence of the being that you are, because that's going to transmute a lot of shame cycles and guilt cycles that you've been carrying with you. You've been in a split of, your masculine and feminine have been in a split all this time. Your masculine maybe leading and not letting your feminine just be visible and fully on its truth, honest essence. Yeah, and gracious receptivity. Oh, yes, please let yourself receive all this joy that you've been containing. And drink a lot of water. I'm hearing, for some of you guys are dealing or maybe dealt in the past with like UTIs or STDs or anything that has to do with your sacral chakra, your postpartum, everything that has to do with that creativity, opening your sexual opening to the world. And sexual is not just about sex, it's also about your creativity and literally receiving all this joy that you were born to receive, and expressing your gratitude as if you already have this joy, and not be guilted or shamed about receiving all this joy. Just say thank you. Don't give it back. Don't try to do something else for it. Don't try to give when you're given. You'll give later when it's authentically because you feel it. Don't try to give it back right after you receive something. That's what I'm hearing for you, group 2. That's my next advice for what is next in your growth is to accept and receive all of this, all of you. And it might start by doing your own clearing, accepting all parts of yourself. We all have a bunch of fragments to build together. So you're not the only one. That's specifically for what is next for you to grow and expand. If you have any projects in mind or any goals, that is next for you. And be grateful about it as if you are already receiving it, because that is the manifestation for your growth. So that's all I have for you, group 2. Hi, group 3. You chose crystal keys, and these are your cards. For this, I wanted to actually tap into maybe a little bit of romantic vibes, if you do have a partner, or if you're in the process of it, or if you have a crush, or simply you feel like your soulmate or twin flame is coming by to knock your door soon, even though you might not even know who it is. This is a confirmation that this is your reading. And number 22, 22, I see a lot of numerologically, I see a lot of energy of union, unity of both aspects of two people. And 2 and 2 is 4, so heart chakra. Yes, it might have to do with you letting yourself be vulnerable, actually, which is your next card. And to feel that you can be trusted and that you can trust the other person. Yes, it might not be romantic, guys. It kind of can be also in your family or friends aspect. When I say twin flame, twin flames are not always romantic either. So any relationship with a twin flame could be in this reading. And I'm being called to show you the calcite. Yes. Here I have labradorite, agate, hematite, and this one I'm not sure what it is. Beautiful gift though. Clear quartz and calcite. Yes, this calcite is what I'm being called to show you. If you have one, or if you could get one, if you believe in crystal keys being able to support you in your journey, I would actually look for this one. This is what I'm getting for you guys, because we got the crystal card on this reading on this day, and I had this one here, and I'm not always putting this one in my readings. So calcite, what I feel of it, but you feel free to look for the meanings and benefits of this beautiful stone. I feel that it helps with your solar plexus, and your solar plexus absorbs a lot of emotions through the belly button actually, and it gives you confidence. It's blocked by shame, and I feel like it's gonna help you with self-confidence, with being able to be vulnerable and to receive all these emotions, even though you might be so sensitive to them at first. I know it's scary. We've all been through scary, traumatic past events where, we absorb a bunch of dense emotions and negativity, and we might not want to open again our solar plexus and trust others. But it's okay. You can look for affirmations or create your own affirmation, as long as it means that you release any shame from your solar plexus for not being able to discern before, for not being able to trust yourself before, because now you can trust yourself. And as an exterior projection mirror like perspective, as well as to the outside, if you're able to trust yourself, you can trust others and any relationship that might be coming your way. Awaken awareness. Yes, you're so awakened right now. It might be scary though, because you have all these dimensions, look at all these layers around your eye. your perception is so open that you might be feeling a little bit overwhelmed or troubled or stressed about it, and actually be trying to block it so that you're not that vulnerable. But guess what? This is gonna help you to connect. If you've always been someone that struggles with connection, you know, even though it might not be connection with people, but I'm hearing that specifically connection with others, or connection with yourself, with your inner passion, so that you can find your purpose or career. Anything like that requires vulnerability. Look how beautiful it expands after being vulnerable. After maybe having a lot of chaos and turbulent waters and going through a lot of cycles and memories that we don't want to remember, that might be stuck, that we might have never even been aware of. We might need some, for example, say a hypnosis, past life regression, or just this life regression for some childhood trauma coming up, and just releasing that cycle that's been circulating around us so that we can release. And that might be something that might make you feel so vulnerable and scared, but it's needed. It's needed. And you'll see soon that there is something that maybe you don't even know that you don't know. It's not something that you just don't remember, something that you don't know you don't remember, you know what I mean? I'm hearing like specifically that again, your next step for growth is going back and maybe having a session, maybe just looking up a trustable YouTube video where you have that past life regression, or this hypnosis meditation where you remember something from even this lifetime. Yeah. And this has come up before in my reading, somatic work. It's like shadow work, but based on somatics, which is just based on the body, and the theory that the body is a map of memories. And sometimes it's not in our brains, in our minds, but it opens up when we work on each part of the body. That might be just being nurturing to yourself, like eating better, like getting more massages, you know, like getting that acupuncture therapy, or getting to that exercise, that yoga that really works your body, and that's gonna open memories. And some of them might be really bad, some of them might be so full of joy, you know, and give you that confidence that you're needing. So plexus crystal again, I'm being reminded to tell you guys that. And any other solar plexus stones or crystals or minerals that you might find are very useful too. Yes, because you need to trust yourself again to be vulnerable, and just be this awareness that is not biased by past trauma. Yes, so that is your next step for growth, looking into your inner wisdom and inner memories, reminding yourself who you are, and to be trusted again, to trust yourself again, and trust that you can trust the outer world. You can have that self-confidence. Yes, this feels powerful, guys. So that is all I have for you, group 3. Thank you so much for watching this new project where I'm channeling for the collective and harmony, and in hopes of growing together as a collective community. See you next video.